Hi guys! It is the day that we're going to be going to our phase 2 appointment in Cincinnati. I recorded nothing yesterday because we literally got to the Airbnb at like 9 o'clock and then watched a movie on Netflix and went to bed. This is our Airbnb. She's super cute. There's my husband. Well, it was a bed that was made and put together, but this bed is actually really comfortable. Most Airbnb beds are really hard. And then you come out here and there's this little thing. Also the creakiest floors. And then also an old guy lives here, so it's kind of definitely old people furniture, but it's really pretty okay. He is an old guy. It's 100% true. And then we have this cute coffee bar. And then a little kitchen. And then a bathroom back there. And the view, it's actually like, it's downtown Cincinnati. It's kind of sketch sometimes, but this is pretty nice.
Definitely nicer than the first one.
Yeah. The first Airbnb that we went to last week was...
It was nice inside.
It wasn't nice inside.
Nicer inside than it was outside.
It was livable. But we're going to share all the Airbnb experiences that we have. Because I have to, when we get done with the surgery, we have like 5 days to live somewhere before we move into the house that I told you guys about. So we're going to go to this Airbnb, and it's really cute, right?
That's for the 23rd and 24th. We haven't booked for after surgery.
Oh, well, the one that we have booked for the 23rd and 24th, which is the day before and the day of my surgery. Wait. No, we need it for the 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah, 22nd and 23rd.
It's like, yeah. It's really cute. So we'll show you guys that then. We're going to be vlogging that whole process of like the surgery and everything. And me looped up. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be entertaining, but it'll be funny. We're going to go to some breakfast now at a place called Maplewood Kitchen
and Bar.
Maplewood Kitchen and Bar, because you can't be in Cincinnati without every single restaurant having a bar. It's just a theme that we found, which Greg's not mad about, right? Okay, so this is today's shirt. Love God, love people. You guys know my like outro is, you can do my face also. My outro is love God, love yourself, love people, and I am actually ambassador for this company called Crazy Cool Threads, and they give you a 15% off discount if you use the code Lexi15 when you shop there. And they just have like super cute, like you guys know I'm into wearing Christian apparel and things that have meaning and say stuff about Jesus and God. So if you're into that kind of thing and you want to shop and get 15% off a shirt like this or any of the other ones on their website, then click the link below. Hey guys.
Yeah, I'm back in my gown.
We're really tired, so...
You know what? We're going to put energy into this, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay, so a few days ago, I asked you guys to ask me questions on the gram and YouTube about, from my last video, because we really didn't explain everything, because listen, if we were to explain everything that's going on right now, everything that we know in our brains and have to process through, like, y'all just don't need to know all of that, first of all. But we wanted to answer some of the questions that you guys had related to the baby, the surgery, or anything like that that we didn't answer in the last video. I got a lot of questions. Some of these questions are actually not even related to anything that's going on. They're just like questions about Craig and I. Okay, the first question is, do you feel angry at God? And the answer is 100% no. I have not once been mad at God. I've been mad at the situation, because as a mom, like, or a dad, you don't wish this to happen. You don't expect this to happen. So when you're told that this is the case, it's obviously like shock and just a bunch of emotions that like we can't really explain unless you've gone through it. But none of it was at all towards God, even a little bit. I don't think God gave our baby spina bifida. I don't think that that is the case at all. I think he's going to use it like he already has, but I don't. Yeah.
No, but you're right. I mean, I've never once been mad either. I think that, you know, a lot of people argue in the comment section, oh, well, God gave it, or God didn't give it. Regardless, God's going to use it, right? So whatever you believe, whether God gave it to you or he allowed it to happen to you, I think that he allowed him to have it.
Yeah, I don't think he gave it. I think he allowed it.
Yeah. I mean, just like you always refer back to the story about Job.
Yeah, or like a lot of, like, this kind of stuff is in this world because of sin.
Yeah.
Like disease and death and all of this is a result of sin, and that is not God. God is not sinful, but things are allowed to happen so that his name can get the glory. And there's a story in John 9 about the man born blind, and it says the disciples asked Jesus, is this man born blind because of his sins or his parents' sins? And Jesus replies, neither. This happened so that God's power could be seen through him. And that's just a story that we have been like saying over and over again over our baby, that like this is so that God's power can be shown through him, like through and through. That's just whatever happens, whatever is the end result, like God is using this. How are you doing? Your mental health, emotions, etc. I think we should both answer this question. I would be lying if I said that I'm okay. Like, I'm not okay. And I said this in the other video. There's a difference between being content for a situation and being content in a situation. And my contentment is because my hope is in Jesus and who he is, and the power in his name and the power in his word. But I don't, to give you a straight up answer, I'm not, I mean, would you be? If you had to go through the next 4 months of what we're going to have to go through, I'm not happy, but I have, like, we're choosing joy on a daily basis. Like, literally, it's like in the Bible when Jesus rained down manna every single day just for that day for the people. That's how it is for us. Like, I'm like, Jesus, I need you today, and just get me through today, and then get me through the next day and the next day. Like, be the bread of life for me every day. Just get me through the days. But like, overall, besides the fact that I'm not great, I am hopeful. And I've had a lot of people say to me, like, I admire your strength, which is really cool that you guys are even saying that, and it means a lot to me. But also know that, like, I don't feel strong, even a little bit. I actually, like, I said this to a friend the other day, like, I have a mental breakdown probably every single day, especially when I'm alone. But I know that the situation is going to be okay, because I know God has this so much, because his hand in it is so evident, that I just hold on to the hope of who he is in all of this, and yeah, take it day by day. So
yeah, I mean, obviously we're gonna have different answers because you're the one through the surgery, but I think overall I'm doing better than I thought maybe I would be. I think it's very, very true what you said about choosing joy every day. I think that's really the only thing that's getting me through. Is the act of mentally every single day choosing joy and believing that it's going to be okay. I think it's really important too that, I mean, another God thing, just on timing, that in church we're going through a series called Intimacy with God, teaching you how to be intimate with God and just really build that relationship. So that's been huge, because staying in conversation all the time is really what's helped me anyways choose joy. Like I said, I'm not the one going through the surgery, so I think some of my anxiety comes back to having it for you and like what you might be feeling, and if you're scared, and like that's what a lot of my prayers are, just to comfort you mentally, because I can't imagine what you're going through. And it's tough too because I'm not gonna see you at home for a while.
I think it's really interesting because I think both of us can really sit here and say that we're not nervous about the outcome of this, because we know God has this so much, and even though the doctors are telling us all of these things that could happen and that we should prepare ourselves for, like every day, like today, we prayed on the way in, like help us hear the doctors, but listen through ears of faith, so that way we're not just hearing what the doctors say and saying, okay, this is going to happen to our baby. It's more of just like they're informing us of what has happened before and what could be a complication, but saying, okay, that is what has happened, but like it might not happen to our baby. It might not. And just like knowing that, and knowing that like we can hear all of these things, but like we have no control over the outcome, that God does. It gives us a lot more peace in the situation, I think. And this is like another question that somebody asked is like, how has this strengthened your marriage? And I think that to go along with the question of our mental health, we have been so like able to choose joy because of our relationship right now. Like we are constantly praying out loud together. We pray every night over the baby together, and just like our constant communication about God in this situation, and being on the same page about things and the same level of faith and everything is just like been really huge for being able to choose joy and being able to see God's hand in this. And so yeah, but to further answer the question of like how has this improved our marriage, I think that like first of all, finding out you are having a baby in itself like strengthens your marriage. I think at least for us it has. Should. For us, it definitely has. Even though it definitely took a while to really be like, oh, we're going to be parents, because you get told that you're going to have a baby, and then you have this 9-month span of like where you don't have the baby in your arms yet. But this has made it sink in so much more. He just had to put that in there for the person who says, why does Craig crack a part of his body every day? Well,
my back's coming too.
There you go. Yeah, our marriage is better. Honestly, it's better.
Yeah.
Have you picked a name for your baby yet? Yes. Yes, we have. When I am in Cincinnati on bed rest, my ears are popping. We're going to do a video that's like the normal, like when you're finding out you're pregnant video, where it's like baby names we like but aren't using. We're going to do that video. We are not going to be sharing the baby's name before he is born. I'm not really sure what that's going to look like, but there is a very unique, important story and meaning behind his name, and we want to share that. We don't just want to be like, yep, here's his name. Because of his story, he has to have a significant name, you know what I mean? So, but it did take us a very long time to figure out this name.
I still really like the other name too, but just because, his stories lines up so well, it'd be silly not to.
Yeah, it'd be silly. I really like the other name too, but we'll have another son. How will spina bifida affect the baby? I'm not sure if that's a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. I don't think a lot of people know what spina bifida is. We didn't know what spina bifida was when they told us that our baby had it. There's something, okay, well, spina bifida is called the snowflake.
Defect, whatever. Snowflake birth defect. Because no two cases are alike, so you could go online and you could read about all the different symptoms, and I think that's probably best than us trying to explain it.
No, I don't think that's best, because the internet's going to tell you so many things.
Right.
We can tell you what the doctors have told you about our baby and the complications that he might potentially have. If you look on the internet, it's going to tell you all of them that any child has ever had, and that might not be the case for our baby.
The common effects, I mean, I'm sure you'll find some sites that go into really big detail where it's really, really bad, but I mean, or you could, you know, search at what the effects of spina bifida are with babies with myocele at L4, L5, and it might be specific, you know, the walking, the bowels, the bladder.
Basically, with spina bifida, the higher up the defect is, and also what spina bifida is where the full, like the spine just doesn't form completely. So the higher up the spina bifida is, the worse that it is. So our baby's spina bifida is in L4 and L5, which is the very low back. And so the doctors are, out of all the things, they're optimistic that it's at that place because it is so low. And basically wherever the spina bifida is, the nerves that are around that area affect the organs and everything else. So because his is in L4, L5, it's going to affect like the organs in that area or like underneath that. The one thing that doctors have kept like saying to us is that with prenatal surgery and with where his is and everything, there is a very, very good chance that he will walk, and he will walk normally, which is freaking awesome. Once he is born, will he need any more surgeries, or are they unsure about that right now? They're really unsure. It's just literally like case by case. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, one of the things that I said that was like a miracle is that our baby you have ventricles in your brain, and with spina bifida, the ventricles in the brain can have like a buildup of fluid, and the more buildup of fluid, the more chance there is to have something called a shunt put in after the baby is born, because it's just like fluid built up on the brain. But our baby's ventricles are at a normal level right now, which going into prenatal surgery means that's a really good thing. And with prenatal surgery, the chance of having to put in a shunt after birth is reduced by 60% as opposed to having the surgery after birth. So that prevents, at least, like, they don't know, obviously, but we are believing and praying for the baby to not need a shunt right after birth. Have you ever had any surgery before? So no. And, well, besides wisdom teeth. And this kind of also can go along with the question of how's your mental health. I don't have a lot of like tangible fears. Like, I'm not scared of, like, heights don't make me feel the best, and clowns, I don't love them. But there is never in my life, ever since I was little, I have never had a bigger fear. The thought of being put under and being cut open is terrifying to me. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, it's not just a surface level fear. It's like when I think about what the doctors have told me has to happen and will happen during the surgery, I will have a panic attack. So I just don't think about it because I'm not okay. Like, I'm not okay when I think about it. Okay, the next question is, how many kids do you want? I don't think we've ever, like, we haven't talked about this since we got pregnant. I think it is important to note that we do want to adopt.
So if I had to say right now,
we don't even have one in our hands yet, though.
If I had to decide right now, I would say we would have another one of our own and then adopt one.
That's exactly what I'd say. The next question is, plans while on bed rest to pass the time but not necessarily waste it. This is a great question.
That's a great question.
And I don't know the answer 100%, but I will say that it's modified bed rest. So praise Jesus. It's modified bed rest, because that means that I'm not supposed to walk a lot. I think it's like 5 minutes is probably like max at a time, which is gonna be so hard for me. The thing is that in Cincinnati is where we're staying for the rest of my pregnancy, and I will be staying the whole time, like the whole 20 weeks or however long it is, I'll be staying there, and Craig will be coming up on the weekends or when he can, and then I have to have someone with me 24/7, like other than that. So I will have somebody with me probably 100% of the time, which will be helpful. But other than like having somebody with me who, you know, we could, a few weeks after surgery, we could go like to the grocery store or to the mall or whatever. I just have to be in a wheelchair. But I'm have a lot of books. I'm gonna still do vlogs and edit. My mom had bought me a coloring book, like an adult coloring book. People are bringing like board games and card games and stuff like that. There's Netflix always, but I get really, like, I can't sit down and watch TV for too long of a time. I'll probably be spending a lot of time with Jesus. A lot of time. I don't really know. I think that that's better, like a better question for like when I'm actually on bed rest and I, like, you know.
I think she's gonna become a Fortnite expert.
Ew, I will not play video games. That is one thing I will not do. What will Craig do while you're on bed rest? What will you do?
Well, if I'm not in Fort Wayne working, doing activities with you. And
sending me videos of Donut, which is my cat.
So I guess if I'm at home, be working,
Going to the gym,
doing the stuff around the house that she would normally do, which is pretty much everything. Try to see friends and family at home, so I'm not just sitting at home by myself. I'm probably going to be fortunate enough to be able to take 3 or 4 day weekends and come up and see her. So majority of the week I'll be up with her, doing whatever, just lounging around or taking her out and about.
Wheeling me around.
Wheeling you around.
How far away is Cincinnati from your home? It is 3 hours. 3 to 3.5, depending on traffic and stuff. Next question is, what are they hoping the outcome of the surgery will be? Well, what are they hoping is that everything goes well. There's so, like I said, there's so many risks and things that I could like just spew at you right now that are like potentially could happen, but there's really no need for you guys to know all of that. But I think the outcome that they're wanting is that they close the spine successfully. They attach the sac to the uterine wall so that there's no separation. I recover well. The baby, his what's it called? What's that thing called? Chiari
malformation.
Yeah, Chiari malformation, which is just like a herniation of the brain, which is something that spina bifida does, will reverse. That it will give him a greater chance of walking, and that he will go to term. Has Craig always felt comfortable with sharing personal things online? No.
No, I mean, it's definitely something that I've had to get used to a little bit. The more that this journey progresses and the more that we're just in front of the camera and the more people know about us, and you know, there's so many people watching that care so much about her and, well, us and our baby and our story. I think that just helps to feel more comfortable sharing things when the majority of the people are gonna respect it and, you know,
support.
And want the best for us.
This is a question that I like had a really hard time with when I saw it, and then I saw that the person also messaged me and like explained further. So the question is, how do you not blame yourself for your baby's diagnosis? And the answer is, I did. When we first heard that spina bifida was potentially something that had happened, literally my first thought was, what did I do wrong? Or what could I have done? Or what did I not do enough of? And I didn't necessarily like say that out loud. Like, I did. I said that to you. Right, when we got back in the car?
Yeah, maybe once.
Yeah, but, yeah, I've held, at least for like in the first week, I held a lot of guilt and just confusion, like internally to myself. Like, what did I just like not take my prenatals soon enough, or did I eat something wrong, or, you know, like all the things that you just, as a mom, if you're a mom, you understand that you just like think all the things that like it's just your fault, and that it wasn't my fault, it wasn't anyone's fault, it was just something that happened, and that's something that God's using. But I won't sit here and say that I didn't have that guilt at first. I know that it's not my fault. It's just, yeah, in the beginning, I definitely did have that. Was abortion ever an option for you? Resounding never. Never. When we first got the diagnosis, the doctor said to us that, what was the statistic? Like 60% of people who have babies diagnosed with spina bifida choose abortion.
Yeah, it was a pretty high number. I don't know exactly the number, but
yeah. And then when we went to Cincinnati last week, the geneticist who was talking to us was like, "What are you considering abortion?" And you guys, like, I have seen a couple comments where people are saying, we want an update because we think you aborted your baby, and I just, no, okay, 100% no. It doesn't. Whatever happens with this, God gave us this baby, and he is a blessing, and he will be a blessing, and complications or no complications would never ever be a basis for us to even remotely consider that option. Like, it makes me sick to my stomach to think about that, because this is our son.
just no.
Just no.
Nah.
Okay guys, that is all for this video. There was so many more questions that we did not get to, but this is probably already a very long video. So yes, we will continue to keep you guys updated, and next week is my surgery on the 24th. So we would love if you guys would just keep us and baby in your prayers. I know that so many of you already are, but we really, really appreciate them, especially like for his safety and my sanity.
I think it's important too, as far as the updates, you gotta remember that, you know, right now we're weeks at a time in between going to Cincinnati. Soon she'll be in Cincinnati and you'll be seeing her face a little more often about the baby. The updates don't come right away right now because we're a week's in between appointments.
We're gonna like obviously vlog the surgery and everything, but please know that we don't know what that situation is gonna look like, and I know people are gonna be like, well, we want an update, whatever. Okay, I am going to have just gotten out of surgery, and I'm not going to be filming myself. Craig's gonna be doing that like after the surgery and stuff, but so it might be a while before that video goes up when I'm like actually able and like willing to sit down and edit a video, because it does take me a lot of time. But yeah, thank you guys for your support, for your prayers, and yeah, it just really means the world to us. Love you, love God, love yourself, love people. Bye.